ready for anything.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Fitness Real Talk on the Nerd Gym YouTube channel. I am your certified organic free range personal trainer, now with 20% more trainer, Melanie Black. And today I will interview my special guest about their fitness journey, the good, the bad, the ugly of it, nothing off the table, nothing edited. Here with me today is, oh, you're on that side, there we go. Here with me today is Serena, supreme ruler of the universe. And yeah, full disclaimer, Serena knows what I'm going to ask her. I have no idea what she's going to reply though, so do not try to diagnose or treat anything in your life with this video right now. It's for entertainment purposes only. Settle down. All right. All right, Serena, tell the folks about you a little bit. What does a typical day or week look like for you?
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me today, Mel. I am super excited to be here with everyone. So as Mel said, my name's Serena. I live here in Tucson, and I was born and raised here, and I currently work as an academic advisor at the University of Arizona. But outside of that, I say I am a partner, I am a daughter, and I'm just a big part of my family. It's definitely been different right now in COVID. I spend a lot of time in front of this lovely box that you are currently watching me on. As an academic advisor and working for the university, we've all pretty much moved remote for the past year. So my typical day will look like pretty much 8 to about 10 hours in front of a computer, but I do try and get up and move around pretty often. As Mel asked, what does my day look like? It varies from day to day, but usually I wake up somewhere in the 6 to 7 a.m. range, usually doing a 6 a.m. Workout with the Nerd Gym. That fits best into my schedule. And from there, just getting ready to dive into my day, meeting with students, working with my colleagues and projects. But of course, that means that I'm in front of this computer all day. So I do try
Yeah.
and get up. One of my favorite things is I do have a fitness tracker, and it does help me make sure that I get up and away from my desk at least for like a few minutes just to get up and walk around my lovely house. That includes playing with dogs. I do have cats. I do have one cat and a bird and birds. So that pretty much is what my day might look like. I do a lot of work within my organization. I'm a part of a sorority. So that takes up some additional time, but also puts me in front of my computer a little longer. And then
Yeah.
just making meals in between my day there.
Yeah. And, so you are one of, I'm going off script a little bit here. I'm going to really, I'm messing with you. I'm so sorry, but
That's
I
okay. I'm
gotta,
ready for it.
I just gotta say that like, you are one of these people that from the outside looking in, you're like, you're so organized. You're so calm. You're so like, you are so on it every single day. But I know that kind of organization and diligence comes at a price. like um so I kind of want to know I've got a bunch of questions to ask you, but I want to know what are your current struggles right now, like for somebody who from the outside looking in, I look at you, I'm like, man, this is just one of those people who just has their life together. you know do you struggle at all, or is it just come easy for you?
Oh no, there's a definitely struggle along the way. And I think that's one thing, and I might be answering several questions in this, but
Yeah.
I've learned we can never prepare for anything. We just have to be ready and prepared as much how we're going to respond to challenges. So my challenge can be even sticking to my routine. As much as I love a routine, there's days where I'm just like, I'm tired. I don't want to do this. Like as much as I love to work out with the gym, there are mornings where I'm like, oh, but it's 6 a.m. Do I have to get out of bed? It's I do have those moments, and I think it's definitely been challenging through the pandemic. And I've noticed a recent switch, even hitting this 1 year mark of working from home, where I was okay. I was like, I think I was just in that initial reaction phase. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make this routine, but it's now that we're hitting this 1 year mark, I'm like, but why do I have to? And like, I'm even seeing a struggle within myself to want to stick to a routine where I usually love routine. Like, you give me, like, I create something, you give me something, I can stick to it. But I think I'm at that point where I'm like, why am I doing this? And kind of questioning myself.
Yeah. And is it, does answering that question help? I mean, like what helps? Is there like something that you do with your mindset, or, what gets you through these internal struggles that you have?
So it's actually also I was using the morning workouts. It's also those that have helped me learn how to process, and I say it keeps me grounded. I've learned that physical activity helps me learn. It taught me how to be present. It goes into that part of me that I'm an organizer. I worry about what's to come. I'm like, I know I'm good where I'm at right now, but I tend to not focus on the present as much as I should be. And I think in my time with the nerd gym, that's one of the things I am most grateful for. I've learned is learning how to be present and actually be with people who I surround myself with, or even just having taking the time to do my internal reflection and spend time for myself. Because I admit I'm also really bad at taking care of myself and making time for me.
Right? You're always living in the future for other people. And then it's
Hmm.
like, yeah, I joke that exercise is like meditation for people with no chill. Right?
I like that. I'm gonna borrow. That's exactly how that's what it feels like.
Yeah, yeah, it's very grounding. I love that. Do you have like a favorite type of physical activity or exercise? Do you have any favorites?
Yeah, so actually, so like part of like what got me here was I knew I had to like take care of myself. I just didn't know how. And I really didn't know if I liked working out or not until I attended a few classes just to see what it was about. So this actually led me to discovering like strength training. I had never really done strength training, and I realized that I love it. It is just so rewarding, and I'm like I can always like I can push myself a little bit further outside of what I thought I could do.
Nice.
So that has really become what like it was one of those things I never thought I would like, but I really like it.
Yeah. And why did you start, like what got you started? What made you think, "Oh, well, I need to work out now?"
So, oh, that's a great question. At the time when I first started, like growing up, I always knew like being a Latina that I had some genetic things that I had to take into consideration. Being from a low income background, we didn't always have access to maybe the best foods. We just took what we had, and I'm perfectly okay. Like I was like I made it to this age, but as I got older, I realized that I needed to take more care of myself, and it was just seeing my family. My family is very important to me, and seeing high blood pressure, diabetes, and knowing that that was very much like it's still very possible in my future. And I needed to take care of myself. And it was also at the time of like there were some big family health issues that were going. We had a loss in our family that I realized like I really need to. I need to prioritize myself if I want to be there to support my family and have a future, then I need to step back and take that time for myself as well.
That is a huge reason, and a very deeply impactful reason that a lot of people get started that I feel doesn't get talked about nearly enough. I have spoken with lots of people who started their fitness journeys because of a loss in the family, because they wanted to be there for their other family members in the strongest way they possibly could. So that's awesome. That's a very powerful start to a fitness journey. Did you as you got going with the strength training, with all the other things, did you have any like either unexpected or expected developments along the way? Like, th- things that changed, things that happened that maybe you didn't expect would happen as they did?
Yeah. I think one of the things that I gained, and I really, it's been an amazing like my 2 years with, I'm going on 2 years in April with the gym, is learning just confidence in myself. Like I know I was confident in the job that I do. I'm confident in other areas, but I think just for me to have an internal confidence with myself and also seeing what I'm physically capable of is something that I hadn't expected to develop. And I thought I was like, I knew I was okay. Like to really describe my relationship with myself before, I was just okay. I was like, okay, I think like this is where I'm at, and probably this is where I'll be. But being able to like lift heavy things, but also learn how my body works and better ways to take care of myself, that really created a new confidence in me that I was not anticipating at all.
Yeah, that's very cool. So do you feel like your relationship with your body has changed over the course of this thing?
Yeah, it has. As I mentioned, I wasn't anticipating how much I was gonna like essentially learn to love myself because I realized I'm pretty cool and like I can do all these really amazing things. And being able to like learn that, and I also like challenges. Like I'm like, okay, let's see how like can I really push myself. So I think that's something also I wasn't anticipating was I could challenge myself in new ways. Like I was always challenging myself academically, mentally, in other ways, but like to physically have this new challenge really created a new relationship for myself. And it's been able to help me support my family because then I've started getting my family to be a little more active as well. And even just changing what we might eat, like keeping like our traditional foods that we love and like that we just like to have every once in a while, but how can we look at it a little differently or like add something, a new twist to it?
I love that. I love that so much. And so what are your current fitness goals? So we know what kind of why you got into it and you're on this journey. And yeah, you're 2 years in, consistent 2 years. High five. That's huge. Sticking to it. What are your current fitness goals for yourself?
So currently, I am definitely it's recently switched within the past couple of months, but I really like building strength right now. That's been my focus is strength building.
Yeah.
I was focused more on toning, but then I was like, well, like, and this leads to like one of my favorite talks Mel usually does, but like vanity is valid. I've learned for real. And I'm just like, hey, like I can do this, or like I'm getting like these muscles in my thighs, and like this is so cool, and I'm lifting more weight. So it's been really fun and seeing like I'm not that like when I first started out, I was like, oh, like I just need to lose like weight and like probably stay on the leaner side. But I realized that actually I'm more comfortable having a little more essentially muscle on me and realizing like, oh, I can do these different things now.
Yeah, absolutely. My cat apparently has something to say about it. Haruki.
They're very passionate about what I'm going.
Yes.
It's like my birds. My birds, they hear
Yes.
me go and they're like, you go, you do it.
Yes, and the pets love the workouts at home too. Your dogs get down on the floor with you, do the
Yep.
workout with you. The whole family, whole
It is.
family
It's
hops in.
becoming a whole household
Yeah.
workout.
Nice. That's awesome. So yeah, I love that. Yeah, strength training is just it's fun. It's fun to be strong. It's fun to have
hmm
to see those developments in your body. I love that so much. So what words of advice would you give to somebody who's like you know, who might have some of the same reasons for starting a fitness program, the same apprehensions, the same struggles? Like what advice would you give to someone who is like you?
Yeah. I say just go for it. It was one of those things I was like, I'm just like, I don't know what's going to happen, but let me at least try because just at least getting your foot into if it's joining one of the Zoom workouts, if it's physically going outside and trying something new, just go for it and see what happens. Because the worst thing you can do is if it doesn't work out, you can try something else. But also, another piece of advice I would give somebody, kind of like I would give to anybody, is don't underestimate yourself either. It's because I think that's something I've learned through this is I finally got to see a side of confidence, and like I think I was underestimating myself and what I could do, what I thought I was capable of, and then I realized I can do these things, but just going out and trying it made me realize that I am capable and that I am worth taking up that space and that I am worth investing this time into myself.
Yeah. Yeah, that is so good. Yeah, a lot of people they think about putting themselves last. They don't want to invest in themselves. They don't want to step into the unknown. Like what if you make a mistake? What happens if you make a mistake, Serena?
Yeah, and I think that's one of those things we worry about making mistakes, and I think that's one thing I'm very proud of within myself. My family was amazing, and they're like, what's the worst thing that happens?" They're like, we learn from our mistakes. So I think that's also one of the things I love about working out and like with strength training is it's going till you fail. It's okay to fail because that's how we grow. That's how we really learn what our limits are. And then we're like, well, let me see if I can push a little further within like some safe means as well. But
Yeah.
knowing that it is okay to fail and that that's really what makes us human. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about being a human being on this planet is if we're willing to go out there and risk something, then there will be a gain for us in some way.
Love that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you so much for hopping on the Zoom with me. one of many Zooms today. And yeah, all right. I guess we'll call that a wrap. Unless you have any parting words of wisdom for anybody listening. You dumped a lot of wisdom on these people, more than they deserve. You hear that, listener? Take Serena's advice.
Just go for it. Just do it. That's all we got to do. And definitely check out Coach Mel. She is amazing. As you can tell with the T-Rex that's behind her, like
right, yeah, as really, evidenced by my aesthetic.
Yes, rainbow and a T-Rex with weights. What more could you ask for?
Exactly. All right, get on it, people. www.thenerdgym.com. All right, thank you so much, Serena. See you next time. High five.
High five. Thank you, Mel.
Thanks.